Welcome back, welcome back. We have, I was going to say something else, but we have a couple gentlemen in the studio with us from the local radio station, KHOZ, and they want to talk about, well, I want to talk about the daily talk show that you guys, community-oriented talk show. It's called Around the Table.
Around the Table.
And you want to talk about the concept for that?
Sure. I let Coleman do most of the talk. Basically, what forever and ever and ever on KHOZ.
Later.
Okay, Jim.
Well, I'm just going to give you a little
talking
history.
later.
I'll give you a history.
Okay, okay.
I'm going to give you the history and let him give you the current.
He's the history.
Yeah, I'm the history.
Okay.
Forever and ever, the party line was on, back to the Mark Williams days and back forever on KHOZ. In fact, this is the 75th year of KHOZ AM coming up this fall, the 75th anniversary. But anyway, that was on there, and with Facebook and all the kind of stuff that people do, the trade stuff these days, that kind of became more and more obsolete. And Coleman came up with the idea of keeping a portion of that, but merging it into more of a community event. I'll let him tell you kind of what he's been doing.
Well, I thought it was really neat because I come from where I'd worked before in West Tennessee. I came from a talk radio station, and it was all about local community, and you got people arguing and bickering back and forth sometimes in a good way, sometimes. But I thought there's not a lot like that here on the radio, and so I thought we could take kind of what the party line is, which was already sort of the community kind of show with the buy and selling going on, and morph that into bringing in guests and mostly local people, also some bigger name people from out of from other places, and spend a lot of time just talking about what's happening here in Harrison. I mean, I think most people are kind of disconnected, or they get their information from Facebook, which is not always the most accurate thing that's out there. So we could talk to bring people in and talk to them, and so far I think it's been great. We've been doing it every day now for probably close to 3 months, and then we started off just doing a couple days a week, and it grew from there.
And there's no lack of people to talk with.
No,
obviously.
No, we've had Ann's been on there before with the lyric. You came as a nun one day, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. You apparently have shed your.
I have morphed.
Your nunnery.
I did shed it real quick.
Well, during this time of COVID, and like our program here, we do this once a week, and it's hard to we mostly promote events.
Right.
There's not a lot of events going on right
Right.
now, so you have to kind of dig a little deeper and bring on guests that have some kind of content or some kind of interest. We were talking about the party line. I remember listening to the party line years ago, and you'd have this repertoire of regulars that would come on, and you could just tell Mark Williams was like, oh no, here we go again.
Yeah,
Like Gladys Knight and her dogs.
That's who I was getting ready to mention, Gladys Knight. Because of course, I always was waiting for the Pips to call. At that age, I thought this is really funny, Gladys Knight. But yeah, the regular.
But that's kind of what you want. That's kind of what you want. You want the community to take interest in what the community's doing. I mean, with all the Facebook stuff now, you're more or less stretch out in a different direction, and you don't really know what's going on from a perspective of call it reality. Because when you get on Facebook or all those other ones, it's opinion. You make a comment, and you've got 20 people to counter your comment, and it really isn't. It's really not social anymore. It's more of an argument platform and that kind of thing. So we want to get away from that, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, my view for it is, and the one thing that we've kind of lacked so far is a lot of people calling in during the show. We have phone lines open, text lines, if people don't want to talk. I don't want people to call in and just argue with me, and I don't want to just argue with them or belittle anybody, but a place for people with opinions to call in and talk. And not only that, but to hear from people, in addition to local folks, we have our senators and congressmen, Governor Mike Huckabee, who now owns KHOZ and all of our radio stations. He's on with us occasionally, so there are bigger name people that are familiar with all of the Washington politics down to the state level, and then here locally.
And that's
so
important.
Thoughts and opinions, about that people have. That's what it's for.
Yeah. And you're willing to listen to both sides of the fence.
Sides, yeah.
Well, I think we've lost civility to a point where you have an opinion, I need to respect that opinion, and instead of saying, no, you're wrong.
Right.
There's got to be that again, because what's our First Amendment?
Yeah.
Freedom of speech. And that means that if you have a point of view, no matter what point of view it is, it has to be respected. It can't be silenced, and that's what I worry about, especially in today's time.
Well, in respect does not mean you agree.
Right.
True.
And unfortunately, I think you're exactly right. Now, it seems like no respect is given because you're going to think I'm agreeing with you if I act
Right.
civil. So my only response is to come back
Right.
with my point of view.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't
Right.
have to be that way.
No.
Yeah, we can get around. We can get around. We can get back to where we are civil with people again, and that's what my hope. The show comes on Monday through Friday,
11 to 1.
11 to 1. So it's a 2-hour, 2-hour
talk
program.
Now, one thing people need to know, in case you've been listening lately, Lisa is on with him a lot on this show, and Lisa Johnson, my wife, and she's been out ill, and so Coleman has been, the show doesn't really work. It's a one-man show. So Coleman said, could you stop in when I'm back in my office? Could you stop in? And I just want people to know it's going to be better quality with me not there because
Now we can't get him to leave.
yeah, because
I don't.
I will get hung up on, I can have a pretty good conversation with him about sports and things like that.
Yeah.
And then he starts getting on some level up here, and Dan, I just have,
And you just get that deer in the headlight look.
What he doesn't know is I'm making that up too.
yeah, I just fake my way through it. But.
Do people contact you to be on the show, or do you contact them? Or
Yeah,
how
they
does that
they
work?
can contact me, or they could call the radio station. Our office number is 870-302-3043. Sure I get the right number. They can also email me. My email is just colemansmith@KHOZ.com. Around the Table has a Facebook page. You can send a message on there. The original KHOZ is the station it's on, 94.9 FM and AM 900. Has a Facebook page as well. Website, KHOZ.com. So in any way you get it to us, we'd be happy to consider that.
How come we have you Coleman Taylor?
Because that is my, I guess, persona.
Okay.
And I didn't tell the station that I was going to do that whenever I was first coming. It was after I got here, and they'd already assigned me an email address. I said, I'm going to go by Taylor as my middle name.
Gotcha.
So my email is still Coleman Smith, and I could have that conversation on a weekly basis with somebody. So.
Jim Johnson's not my real name. Did you know that?
No.
I can think of a few names, but I don't.
I've been called lots of other
I'm
names.
sure.
Yeah. Anything else we need to know, guys?
No, just I just think we're at KHOZ and 102.9 The Z. Just want to be and have been forever before Coleman and I were ever involved. Great community partners. I know that's what you guys do too. That's what we want to do. So don't hesitate to reach out and say, we've got something coming up. We'd like you to help promote it. We find ways to get that done.
Yeah, okay.
And be on the lookout too this fall, as Jim had mentioned, we're turning 75 years old. That'll be in September when that birthday will actually happen. And we are working on some celebration stuff. So stay tuned. I guess we'll be talking more about that.
Free stuff for everybody.
Free stuff.
That's right.
Free stuff.
You might be surprised what we found in the closets and the back
man.
rooms, and we found some really interesting.
Because that building is the same.
It's the same building.
Same building.
1947, I think, is when it was completed.
Yeah.
Same one.
Well, come back and talk with us sometime about
Yes.
how things are progressing. And
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you.
Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Up next?
up next, we have Beth Kaffenberger and Jessica Kibling from the Boone County Library. Stay with us.